What a fun one we had here in downtown Oklahoma City. The Thunder defeating the Hawks 140-129. And after the game, our very own Nick Gallo caught up with Alex Caruso.
AC, you have the massive three late, massive three, and then the steal in the backcourt. Where does that killer instinct come from within you?
Just trying to be competitive. I don't feel like we played up to our standard and like how well, at least me personally, how well I can play competing, over the last couple weeks in December. So, just trying to get back to that, make plays. On the second night of a back-to-back, it just becomes who wants it more, who's going to make the plays. So, just try to do that, provide some energy for these guys.
Is that what we saw in that third quarter? It just seemed like the energy shifted coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, we know what we got to do. We're a little tired in the first half. We did a good job, I think, in the second half of coming out, playing with more energy and getting some stops.
It was a total shootout. They made some wild shots. What is it about y'all's mentality to be able to just have the next play and not let that stuff phase you?
Yeah, I mean, that's what, garnered all the success we had last year and the success we've had early this year. It's finding a way to win games and make plays, even, if we don't have our best through the whole game. And I think we did a good job of that in the second half.
Incredible stuff here from Alex Caruso and J-Dub helping him out a little bit. But Alex Caruso with a bunch of winning plays down the stretch. When the Thunder needed it, the Atlanta Hawks did not want to go away, and that's why AC is our forward player of the game. 16 points off the bench, but even more than that, just some great energy and intensity.
There's points in the game, Paris, where, you hit a shot and it's technically worth 3 points, but it sure feels like it's worth more than 3 points. And that's how a couple of those threes from AC were tonight. They were timely, they were needed, and they were big shots in the big moments. And of course, like Alex said, he lives for this type of competition. He loves making plays and big moments of the game. His anticipation skills are incredible. It goes always beyond the shot making and the scoring for him. But 9 rebounds, don't overlook that fact. He was huge on the glasses. The Thunder played small a lot throughout this game. AC did a great job just in so many areas of the game.
It's really interesting because a lot of the times you look at Alex Caruso's box score and it doesn't match up with the impact that you feel like he had in the game. That is not the case in tonight's matchup. You see the 16 points, a season high, 9 rebounds. You see the steals, and every number metric kind of adds up to what you felt like he brought to the game.
And the points on an offensive possession when he's on defense, where he's forcing a reset of the offense or tipping a pass or getting a deflection, near steal, holding up somebody so that somebody else can get a steal. All those things interconnect with one another. And, AC's just a winner. That's what he is. That's what he's done his whole life in the NBA, is he finds ways to make plays on the court. He is the ultimate role player. He knows who he is. He knows what his job is. And he comes out on the floor and just puts it on the line every single time.
His teammates call him an absolute winner, and we saw why in this matchup against the Hawks tonight. You can watch every highlight and every big moment with game replays on the FanDuel app and your choice of 5, 10, or 15-minute condensed games. Download the FanDuel Sports Network app today. Coming up on Thunder Live, we will break down the last game of 2025. The Thunder are going to welcome in the Portland Trail Blazers on New Year's Eve, a very fun tradition. We've got your scouting report right after this, and we'll hear from Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault. Let's go places. The Thunder took care of business here tonight against the Hawks, 140-129. Let's get you over to the press room so you can hear from Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault following tonight's win.
Mark, what'd you feel from your team in that massive run to start the third quarter?
Great stuff out of halftime. Great job resetting. You just got to know against a team that plays with that kind of pace and reckless abandon, and they do it relentlessly. That's their character. That it's going to be kind of a roller coaster of a game, and you got to have the mental toughness to go up 10, down 10, have them hit some tough shots, obviously, which they did, and just kind of stay true to your possession game. And I thought in the second half, for sure, we did that. And I thought it was a good mental test for us on a back-to-back. And like I said, with the way the game went, to emerge from that with a win was positive.
Yeah, you've mentioned, individual guys like Dort having the requisite amnesia that you need when tough shots get made. Do you feel like the team has developed that over time? This isn't the first time that you've sustained, a massive 3-point shooting night and found ways to win the game.
Yeah, and that was the other night against Philly, too. They made some really tough shots in the first half of that game, and what can happen is you get distracted by that, and you start to fray on all the things that you can control and that you need to do to still win the game and to still play well. And I thought for the most part we did that tonight. I mean, certainly not all the shots they made were lucky. I mean, a lot of those were earned. A lot of those were a result of the style that they play. And they got the best of us in a large portion of the game. But I did like our mental toughness. I thought we did a good job of just hanging in there with the game.
Games like tonight and last night where the game needs a swing after halftime, what's that self accountability like for the group from your point of view?
At the half? Yeah, I think it's, it starts with knowing your identity as a team, not because you stay in character the whole time. I mean, it's an 82-game season. It's a 48-minute game. It's a lot of basketball to stay at an optimal level. But when you know who you are, then you can reconnect to that more quickly, and you know when you're not there. And I think that's been kind of the mark of the last two nights. We haven't been perfect. It hasn't been a masterpiece, but we kind of know who we want to be, and when we're not there, we've done a good job in game of reconnecting to that in both the Philly game yesterday and the Atlanta game tonight.
Only 2 offensive rebounds for the Hawks in the second half. What did you like about the effort that you guys gave on that in that specific area? Yeah,
it was a problem in the first quarter for sure. So we did a good job, and especially with Hart out, a lot of Chet at the 5 lineups, a lot of small lineup tonight, and we did a good job of getting all 5 guys in there and cleaning up those plays.
Mark, I was just curious about your thoughts on just the volume of threes the Hawks took tonight. Took 54 threes. Just wondered what you thought of that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what they do. Like they're coming down, ripping those shots. I mean, Okongwu shot 10 of them the other night, and Alexander-Walker shoots them freely. Veets shooting the ball great. It's impressive how he's playing. They don't hesitate. It's a credit to the environment they have around those guys. They're confident and aggressive, that team. And they really don't flinch regardless of what's going on in the game. I thought they were very impressive tonight with the way that they played all the way through the 48 minutes, and so were we. But it's a credit to them. It's the way they play. It's the pace they play with, not only in the full court, but in the half court. And they keep the foot on the gas the whole game. It's difficult to play against.
What have been some of the challenges, like cumulatively, of like a shortened off season, a condensed schedule, and the injuries kind of all hitting at once? Now that we're kind of near the midway point, have you noticed anything?
Look, it's an NBA season. It's 82 games. It's hard for everybody. Every team deals with injuries. Every team deals with a condensed schedule. Every team deals with a tough schedule. Every team deals with bad officiating nights. Every team deals with shot variance. Every team deals with luck. And you want to be a team that doesn't become helpless and see all those things as excuses and become a victim. You want to be a team that can focus on what you can control. That's ultimately how you build confidence, is when you look at those things and you say, those exist, but they are a challenge, and there's plenty that we can control, and we've got a team that's got that mindset. And when you overcome those things, then it builds your mental toughness, builds your confidence, and you get better. And I think that's what's happened with our team.
Yeah, great mental toughness by the Thunder, both in game and in between games and over the course of a very long NBA season. And Royce, I thought Coach Dagnall brought up a really good point. The Atlanta Hawks, they play with a freedom and kind of a recklessness that can be a little bit dangerous. It can allow them to really, have inflated numbers like we saw in this game here tonight. And the Thunder did a really good job adjusting to that.
I love the way that Coach Mark kind of framed it, is that you don't want to look at yourself as a victim of bad luck or bad shot making or the volatility of the shooting. And, that he mentioned with Nick's question there about the amnesia element, is that sometimes that can kind of force you to fray away from what your style is or what you want to do. But the Thunder did a great job. Their focus so often in games is win the possession battle, get good shots, play efficient basketball, stick to getting to the paint, and that's what they did. Eventually, you can win the math problem if you get higher efficiency shots throughout the game. Even though the Thunder were trading some threes for twos, the Thunder were getting more twos, and they just did a great job of attacking the paint and sticking to their style.
Well, how about this? The Thunder has one game left in the calendar year 2025, and it comes against the Portland Trailblazers. Very fitting that we're closing the curtain on this year and closing the curtain on this series against the Portland Trailblazers. These two teams have squared off 3 times already this season. You see the Thunder has the 2-1 series lead. And I would say the numbers have certainly favored Oklahoma City over the course of this series as a whole.
Yeah, the Thunder have done a great job against the Blazers. Portland plays as a team that plays hard with some intensity. They really try to pressure the ball, and the Thunder have done a great job of handling that a lot in the games that they've played. Of course, the one loss to Portland was on the second night of a back-to-back, late arrival, and OKC built a big lead in that one and let it slip away. Isaiah Joe just had his toe just barely over the three-point line with a chance maybe to tie that one. But Portland's a competitive team. They want to play you hard, and so that's what the Thunder can expect when they get the Blazers on New Year's Eve. Always a great night to have that New Year's Eve game.
I was about to ask you, Royce, you've been here from the very start, and this is a very beloved tradition here in Oklahoma City to play on New Year's Eve, and the Thunder has a pretty good record, by the way, and this place, it gets rocking.
I think that's probably why it's a good tradition, is because the Thunder typically tend to play well. I'll never forget the first one in this building. The Thunder had started in Oklahoma City, started 3-29. It was, all the fans were rallied around the team, just adoring this group of young players that were here, and then come out with a huge win against the Warriors to get to 4-29. People driving around honking their horns in the street like OKC had won something, and it was always a great memory that I have.
To get some electric energy here inside of this building on New Year's Eve. The Thunder are going to look to sprint through the finish line of this calendar year and this wonderful holiday homestand that we have had inside of this building. That game tips off at 7 p.m. Central Time, but tune in 30 minutes early to Thunder Live. Me and Royce will get you all prepared as we go into that game on New Year's Eve. But that wraps us up here inside of Paycom Center as the Thunder take down the Atlanta Hawks. What a fun game inside of this building. A whole lot of offense, and the Thunder pour in 140 points, walk away victorious. One game remaining in the calendar year of 2025, and we are looking forward to it. That New Year's Eve matchup against the Portland Trail Blazers. Be sure to tune in at 7 p.m. Until then, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great night.